The fundamental difference between Western and indigenous ways of being is that even the most open-minded Westerners generally perceive listening to the land as a metaphor, as opposed to the way the world really is. Another way to say that is that Westerners generally perceive the world as consisting of resources to be exploited, as opposed to other beings with whom we can enter into relationship. Other beings whose lives are as valuable to them as yours is to you and mine is to me. Other beings who are every bit as alive and sentient as are you or I. And that, of course, includes not only other animals, but plants and rivers and mountains and forests. And, of course, how you perceive the world affects how you behave in the world. There's a great line by a Canadian lumberman: "When I look at trees, I see dollar bills." If when you look at trees, you see dollar bills, you're going to treat them one way. If when you look at trees, you see trees, you'll treat them another way. If when you look at this particular tree, you see this particular tree, you'll treat it differently still. Same is true for women. If when you look at women, you see orifices, you're going to treat them one way. If when you look at women, you see women, you'll treat them another way. If when you look at this particular woman, you see this particular woman, you'll treat her differently still. And one of the fundamental flaws of this culture, I think, is the perception that the individual is the fundamental unit of nature, or the fundamental unit of evolution, or even worse, that the gene is the fundamental unit of evolution. I think we are ourselves, of course, and we're also parts of a larger whole. Likewise, a tree is itself, and it is part of a larger being. A forest is a living being. A river is a living being. Now, before you laugh and say a river is just a container through which water flows and happens to be filled with other beings, let me ask you, when was the last time you had a drink of water? And let me ask you, when's the next time you're going to pee? Let me remind you that water is flowing through you. And let me ask you, what percentage of you is water? And let me remind you that more than 90% of the cells in your body don't contain your DNA. And let me remind you also that the bacteria in your body are going to outlive you.